Brent, do you want me to ask about what your future is, or do you just want to address it, whether or not you want to continue playing?
Address it?
Yeah.
No, nothing has really changed from, I think, obviously I knew that question was coming. And I forgot what I was thinking about.
From the heart.
I think I never really, I try not to think about it too much this year. I think the year previously was I had an injury kind of bugged me all year, had surgery at the end of the year, so it was tough physically and mentally that year. And obviously I knew coming into this year was my last year on the deal, so I just wanted to see how I bounced back, kind of how I felt physically, and if I felt great. So body-wise, I felt really good. I tried to just enjoy it. Obviously, it's been talked about this group and just how it's such a special group. I think it's you don't win, so it's obviously disappointing and not successful. But it's still so hard to get to that point. I think you hear of teams how hard it is to make the playoffs alone, get through the first round, second round. That's it's hard at this point to feel good about that. But I do know from in previous years, like those are the years you do look back and you think about that group and how much has to go right to get to that point. And this group just works so hard every day and pushes every day, and so yeah, it's hard. I think at these points you like, it's very easy to be so negative about it, but I think it's tough. I think to get to that spot, there's a lot of stuff that has to fall into place, and so yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff that goes through the mind, in these last couple days, and so yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I can't remember what you started with. Future. That's what it was. So yeah, no, I think for me, there's a lot that goes into that too. I think obviously a lot goes into from a family standpoint. I think it's two edges to that sword. It's so special that I've got older kids that kind of come through this with me, and it's hard to, you miss a lot of things, but yeah, it's I have fun every day at the rink. Every day it takes a lot of work. It's a lot. You see what these guys they do every day, learning from them. It's tough to see the amount of work I do when I take my shirt off next to Svetch. That's tough, but you don't get those results like that. But it's such a great group. It's a lot of fun. So yeah.
Well, this year, kind of Rod talked about maybe a different role for you alongside Jacob, kind of more of a shutdown, defensively minded role. How do you feel like you kind of fared in that role with playing those minutes?
Yeah. It's definitely a different challenge. You play against, obviously in the past, offensively was counted on a lot more. And not that you're playing against top guys those nights too, but I think when you're Slavo's obviously, he's the best in the world at shutting guys down. So playing against those guys every night, it's if you make one mistake, it's a grade A, and it's a solid chance of their scoring. So, you know, the mindset definitely shifts to obviously trying not to give up anything, because if you do, it's gonna be scary. So, yeah, that affects, you know, the offense a lot. It was a great challenge. I loved it. It was fun. Yeah, a little different. It was a great challenge. So it was yeah, it was fun.
I would imagine at this stage in your career, the chase for a cup is paramount. You are already in an organization where you have a role. They know you, you know them, and possibly a decent future at getting back to this level and further. How much of a factor is all of that together, being in this place right now, part of what will go into your decision-making about considering coming back here?
Yeah, no, I mean, you almost answered the question, I think. This is a really special place. I think, you know, I've said it before. I think I said it every year because it's true. I was really blessed to play in 3 great places, but Raleigh is really special. You know, obviously I've got a family, I've got kids, so everything outside of the hockey part is great. We love living here. The people are very special. It's crazy because you feel like you're in a small town, but you're in a big city. You're never missing for anything. Rarely traffic. You know, I got my drive down to the rink to 30 seconds, 45 seconds, doesn't matter, red lights or not. It's just a special place, and all those things kind of come into play, I think, you know, especially for me, a strong routine. You know, Brownie can attest to the bus times here. I don't like being very late. It affects everything. So it's just really, you know, and that's outside of hockey. I'm not even talking, the hockey part is obviously incredible here. You know, the group here is really, really special, all the way down, you know, playing for a guy like Roddy and our coaching staff is, you know, it's amazing just to, you know, we always talk about the way he motivates and his daily speeches and, you know, seeing him in the gym and, you know, Gleese being our guy on the D side, you know, our conversations every day. And it's, you know, so all that's, it's been amazing. Then the guys, the work, the laughs, everything like that. Obviously, the young kids coming in are special. This is you know, I don't spend too much time on that, but you always see it's near the top for the young guys coming in, and obviously you see this year Blakey, the way he came in and shit, just every day, the things he can do it's you know, that's how the group keeps getting better and staying near the top. So, yeah, we love our time here, and it's a special place. So, yeah, hopefully, I really haven't spent any time thinking about. I think you get into this time of the year, everything goes out the window. So you don't really think about what's to come, you know. Until you had that time, and then it's like, oh shit, I got new tires, there's a whole bunch of stuff, kids' graduation, yeah, there's a whole other set of issues. So, yeah, there's a lot of, I've been driving the kids around the last couple of days, and you know, taking stock of that side of the issues. So. We'll see what happens, but we love it here and would love for it to work out.
Brent, I feel you on the car trouble. I need an oil change after
Yeah.
being here every day for 2 months. But
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you about just how challenging it was maybe to replace Brett Peshy and Brady Shea entering this year, and then even in the playoffs, then you lose, two defensemen for a few games, and what that was like.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been a lot said about it. How special those guys were and big parts of the team. And, I think every year you always have, you never really know how it's going to gel together and how guys are going to be missed, how guys are going to add. I think, from a player standpoint, I don't think we really think too much about that stuff. You get so much to worry about and taking care of your own game and doing all that. So, I don't. Yeah, we just miss the laughs at dinner and on the airplane, and that's kind of what we're thinking about for the most part, I think. But I think we still came in and we still feel good about our group, and we pushed right from the start. So, I think guys still feel good about the group. You never know. You still have a lot of things have to go right just to even get into that. What Roddy talks about, the second race. Getting into the playoffs is not easy. A lot of stuff when we had our ups and downs, throughout the year, and a lot of people for sure second guessing it. From a player standpoint, I don't know if you can even afford those thoughts. I don't. You're probably scrambling about everything else about yourself and getting ready, and so every year you're always going to miss certain guys and have different guys come in, and I think it just was it has to be a special group to get this far. I think if you're not, it's not happening. So it's you look throughout the. I've got a son that's older that loves hockey, so we're watching hockey at home, and you're looking at other series and your own series, and I mean, you look at the matchups. There's a lot of good teams that went home early, really good teams that go home early. And then the next round, there's more good teams that go home. So you have to have a special group of guys and a special thing going on, because there's a lot of special groups that don't end up going that far. So I've always said that there's got to be a lot of things that go right, a lot of things that have to align, and so, yeah.
And then just to follow up, specifically losing Satfield and Walker in the playoffs,
Yeah, I mean those.
Can you understate how much?
No, it's a huge thing. I think, as a player, probably the mindset is, just next man up. Eat a little more on the plate just to help out. I think as a group, you try to help the other guys, feel good. And obviously Nicky, language, trying to help him, just say, I don't care if you don't know the words in English, just yell, just say something so we, as a partner, where you are, and we'll figure it out, especially in our system. If you're switching, just yell, just scream something, and we'll figure it out. So you're trying to help those guys kind of step in. That ain't easy, for him and Scotty to come in and at that time. That's it's extremely difficult. I don't know how they did it. So obviously it was an unbelievable job from them, and it's tough to lose those guys. I think Walks was. I mean, he was playing great. Obviously, Chatty's speed is incredible. So you miss those things, and I think that's kind of what makes it so much fun to get to these points, because you look around the room and you see guys grinding, and it's, yeah. So I think it's super tough to lose those guys, and you see how hard it is on those guys to be out, and for guys to step in, it's extremely difficult too.
Last one for you.
I'm sure there was trepidation or concern 3 years ago when San Jose comes to you and says, you know, we have a deal here, will you go to Carolina? How much did Rod wash away a lot of that stuff? I know the relationship you guys have, that your sons have, all of that stuff. How important was that to you? How much do you kind of cherish that?
Like in the deal,
Just
or after?
In the lead up, I'm sure there was concern about, man, I'm going to a new city, but how much did coming here and having Rod be the guy?
Yeah, I mean, I know I've said it every year, so because it's the truth. I mean, he's such a special coach. I think from so many standpoints, you know, just like the automatic respect that he demands from everybody, the buy-in he gets from everybody. He's just a special leader, I think, you know, and that's such a gift that not everybody has. I think, you know, and I've had a lot of special coaches, and they're all very, very different. The way they approach everything, and you know, he's just a guy that he's been through it. So, like he says it, anything he says, you know, it's coming from a player standpoint. He knows. You know, even like mistakes. I just love how he always, like he's. I know you're thinking on this play, because he does. He's been through it. You know, it's from somebody that never played. It's very easy sometimes, even on like certain reads or certain plays that you make, and you know, say I make a insane rim, which happens, you know, and it's very easy to look at it and say, like, because my son says it to me all the time, Dad, what the heck were you doing? And I'm like, well, buddy, I think the same thing 300 times when you're playing, you know, because it's, you saw something 2 seconds before when you took a look, and then it changes. But, you know, same with Gleese. Like, Gleese's been through it, so he knows. So from a player standpoint, it's easier to take that criticism because they know what's going on, and he's just they're great communicators, motivators, leaders. It's yeah, I don't know. It's they're definitely very special with how they do it. You know, and our relationship's been great. So you know, during the year, it's a little different. I mean, you know, yeah, it's no, it's been a special place.
Thanks, Brent.
Nice. See ya.